Now, Badlapur is a very iconic name because if Netflix or Amazon were to make an OTT series on the Maharashtra Assembly elections, chances are they may want to call this Badlapur because there is an element of Badla or revenge where Aaditya Thackeray, Uddhav-Thackeray and the original Shiv Sena is seeking to exact revenge on Eknath Shinde, political revenge, not the kind of Badlapur revenge, but political revenge on the Shinde Sena for splitting Balasaheb's Shiv Sena. We're now heading towards the peak of what will undisputedly be the most important assembly election after the Lok Sabha election. Because if the BJP, the Shinde Sena and the Ajit Pawar Sena are able to win Maharashtra, then they can say that the Lok Sabha elections were an aberration. Messrs. Modi, Shah and the BJP are back. However, conversely, if Aaditya Thackeray and his alliance is able to win in Maharashtra, then it will be a body blow for the central government and for the BJP project to build a new India. Joining us to talk about the Badlapur of Maharashtra, please join me with a very warm round of applause as we welcome to the conclave the President of the Yuva Sena, the MLA from Worli, Aaditya Thackeray. Can we have a very warm round of applause, please? Aditya ji, welcome. Do you accept this description that in some ways the Maharashtra Assembly election is like a Badlapur? Ki badla lena hai from Eknath Shinde, from the BJP, for everything that they've done to you, your family and your party.
Firstly, thank you Rahul, welcome to Mumbai. And नेहमीप्रमाणे आपलं मुंबईत स्वागत करतो मी. आपण इथून काही अंतरावर मागच्या वेळी 50 पुशअप्स मारलेले. आर यू रेडी फॉर द पुशअप्स?
I am, let's go for it. ये तो अभी पॉलिटिकल पुशअप का टाइम है.
नहीं, वो तो चलते रहता है. But listen, I mean, to be honest, yes, lot can be discussed, lot can be spoken, but I think the comparative is not needed and comparison is not needed because what happened in Badlapur is actually something against the basic principles of humanity and governance both. In terms of the accused, Akshay or whatever his name is, Shinde, who molested the 3-year-old toddler. I think that of course is a very demonic perspective, an act of, inhumane behavior. But beyond that, I think even the way the state government reacted to it, it kept a pregnant lady, the mother of the 3-year-old toddler, coming to the police station for 7 days back to back. On the day the FIR was taken, 10 hours she was made to sit. When the protesters came out to the railway station, they lathi charged them. I think again, an absolute failure of governance. And yesterday what has happened, whether to call it an encounter, whether to call it a killing, whether to call it a suicide, lots of questions are being raised. Whether this Shinde was killed to save one Apte. So I think there's a lot of speculation over that. Let's not compare the both. What we are indulging in is politics. Of course, the BJP and the Minde gang is indulging in dirty politics. But we have no intention of badla. We don't work like that. We are here to make Maharashtra better, to work for the people of Maharashtra, and that's what our aim is.
But the thing also is, and we've seen this in Uttar Pradesh and elsewhere, voters like a tough and decisive sarkar, bulldozer Raj, encounter killings. In Maharashtra earlier, back in the day, and even now in Uttar Pradesh and elsewhere, unfortunately, there's a large section of voters that says, ठीक है यार, ठोक दिया, अगर इसने ऐसा किया लड़की के साथ, good riddance. Now, is that the message you think Eknath Shinde and the Sarkar are trying to...
चैनलों पे चल जाता है, बुलडोजर राज चल जाता है, एनकाउंटर चल जाता है, लेकिन अगर ऐसे होता तो इंडिया अलायंस को जो सक्सेस यूपी में मिली वो मिलती नहीं. आज जो सवाल है, इस देश में जो सवाल है, वो सबसे बड़ा बेरोजगारी का सवाल है. महाराष्ट्र में अगर आप देखिए तो सबसे बड़ा सवाल बेरोजगारी का है. यहाँ एयर इंडिया में जब 600 जॉब्स के लिए एडवर्टीजमेंट निकली थी, 25,000 लोग देश से आए थे. A similar thing happened when there was an advertise for police constable. 17,000 posts. You had 17.5 lakh young people, some of them very well educated, coming in for the jobs of a police constable. The problem today in Maharashtra is the way the BJP has looted Maharashtra. That is the bigger problem. See, bulldozer Raj, encounter Raj, all of these things are great for headlines and channels and TRPs, and it goes on. But if you see the way the country has voted, it has voted in a fashion which has said, we don't accept dictatorship. Give us jobs. Give us income, give us our pride, give us self-determination.
आपने बोला कि the way people have voted, I want to just show you some data sets about how voters in Maharashtra have voted, and then you can give us a sense of how...
Let's start with Varanasi, no?
ठीक है. Can we just have some of those charts prepared by the data intelligence unit up on the stage? Because they compare the strike rate of different parties. And there, what you obviously know the data, but what is of concern from the perspective of your faction is that it appears that yours is amongst the weakest strike rates. If I just go across and show you, your party candidates contested on 21 seats. You won 9. Your party's strike rate, Aditya ji, is only 43. The Congress's strike rate is 76, and the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP has a strike rate of 80. Amongst the others, the BJP has a strike rate of 32, the Shiv Sena Shinde is 47, and the NCP of Ajit Pawar is 25. So, if I look at the India alliance, yours is the Kamzor Kadi from the seats contested and won.
We've analyzed all this. I mean, Rahul, the most important thing in this is, if it is the Congress going up along with us, we're very, very happy. If it is the NCP, SCP going up along with us, we're very, very happy. Any of our ally doing well, and this was the condition when we were with the BJP also. The BJP grew in Maharashtra primarily because of my grandfather giving them the support they needed to. We're very happy for our allies to be doing well. Now you look at us versus the BJP, which has been the party that has been looting Maharashtra. We, in the past 2 years, have lost out 40 of our MLAs because Alibaba and Charlie Chor ran away to Surat and then Guwahati and Goa. We lost out on 12 of our MPs because they had sketchy dealings here and there. They were scared of the ED, IT, CBI and the BJP. They ran away. So we fought this election without 40 MLAs, without 12 MPs, and we hit 9. If you look at the votes we have garnered in cities like Thane, Kalyan, Dombivli and all of these cities which were right under the nose of the illegal CM, they're not bad at all. They're quite good. However, the BJP, which considers itself to be the largest party in the world, the highest membership in the world, the maximum electoral bonds and the funding and all ED, IT, CBI, even the election commission with them, even they are at 9. So strike rate is one thing. But one, the spirit, the honesty and the principles that we are fighting for, we may go lower in terms of strike rate, but we will not lose out on the principles which the BJP compromises on for its electoral gains.
How is the seat sharing conversation coming along at this moment? I'm told from what I have gathered that about 100...
Much better than the BJP and its broken allies.
So that you have understanding on some 100, 120 odd seats and the others are still a work in progress. I'll tell you why I asked this. Because when we look at the polling data for who in the India alliance is best suited to be chief minister, it can be argued that Uddhav Thackeray ji is by far the number one choice. I showed that strike rate visualization because that will become the big question. If the Congress potentially ends up with more seats than yours, and if the trend of the Lok Sabha gets repeated, they will say, boss, CM to hamara hona chahiye. Like the likes of Balasaheb Thorat and several others are already saying that. How will you navigate this? Will it be your father who you would like to be projected as the next chief ministerial face, or will it be whoever comes up on top?
Look, I mean, this is again this is most probably the toughest question for me because it becomes tricky between a karyakarta and a son. You know, as a son, I cannot praise my father. But as a karyakarta, as someone who's worked in his cabinet, I know that by far, his 2.5 years of administration, of governance, in terms of COVID, in terms of supporting farmers, in terms of women's safety, in terms of keeping the state ahead in industrialization, has been one of the best in whatever past few decades we've seen. It's been appreciated by everyone. It's been a government that was belonging to everyone, right? Even today, he is the most accepted face. You go out to the hinterlands of Maharashtra, you go to the farmlands of Maharashtra, and they will tell you that Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray is the only man who stood with us in our toughest of times. And that is the fact of the matter. In terms of who will become the CM, how will we navigate the seat sharing, who will claim for it, I think we have a very clear-cut understanding in the MVA. We're not fighting for the post. We're not fighting for the chief minister's post or, selfish purposes, because of which the BJP broke the alliance with us. We are fighting this for the pride of Maharashtra. We are fighting this for the asmita of Maharashtra, which has been lost due to the BJP's governance or misgovernance in Maharashtra. This has been lost due to the loot of the BJP. We are fighting to save the state from the loot of our state at the hands of the BJP.
You spoke very well, Aditya, but you didn't answer my question. Would you
Which makes me a better politician than what I was last year.
Would you like Uddhav Thackeray ji to be projected as the face of the India alliance in the Maharashtra Assembly elections?
Would you like inter-party disciplinary action to be taken on me if I say something? Look, I mean, frankly, like I said, if today there is a person who can lead the state in a very, unified manner, in a manner that is able, yes, Uddhav-Sena Thackeray stands as one of those foremost people who can lead Maharashtra, because we want someone who will speak about the Maharashtrian pride. We want someone who will speak about how do we take Maharashtra ahead. As of today, if you ask me, do you pitch him as the Chief Minister's candidate? I think it all depends on how we perform. And if you look at the polls across Maharashtra today that happened during Lok Sabha, if you ask the perception of the state of Maharashtra, I think everyone's standing with the MVA. But people are not,
But where there is no clarity, there can be infighting. If, for example, the message goes out to...
Chalo, let's do this. Let's do this. I think you have a man here who's coming next, who had run away from the last conclave to Delhi when I had challenged him to come and sit next to me, the illegal CM. Let's ask him who the chief ministerial face of the BJP is, and we'll put ours in front of him.
अभी तो वो लेट चल रहे हैं.
अरे मैं तो कहता हूँ आएंगे नहीं. पिछले समय भी लेट आए थे, आए नहीं.
आप ऐसी ट्रोलिंग करके जा रहे हो. हमारा कार्यक्रम खराब कर दोगे, आप बताओ. है आपने ऐसी बोल के
मैं उनको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से जानता हूँ, 20 साल से जानता हूँ.
यू आर सेइंग नहीं आएंगे.
अभी
साहिल आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे हैं? ही इज ऑन द वे, राइट? साहिल भी सोच रहा है पता नहीं आएंगे. आएंगे. आप ऐसे ही बोल के जा रहे हो.
उनकी हाँ में हाँ मत मिला, वो कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं लग रहे थे.
वो एक्चुअली कॉन्फिडेंट.
अच्छा चलो आते हैं तो राहुल, चलो यू आर द ओनली पर्सन इन द कंट्री हु कैन डू दिस.
मुझे फंसा.
नो अदर एंकर कैन डू दिस.
अरे वाह.
कॉल हिम हियर, लेट्स हैव अ फेस टू फेस डिबेट. आई एम अप फॉर इट.
वो बोलेंगे बच्चा
can wait.
वो बोलेंगे बच्चा है.
तो बच्चे से क्या डरना?
हाँ?
बच्चे से क्या डरना?
वो बोलेंगे कि आप उद्धव ठाकरे जी को लाओ, मैं उनसे डिबेट करूंगा.
लेवल पे बात करते हैं ना, मुझसे बात कीजिए.
देखो अभी तो वो हमारे गेस्ट है एंड वी आर ईगरली वेटिंग फॉर हिम टू कम. तो मैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा कि वो देख के बोले कि ये जो बोल रहा है ठीक है, आने का ही नहीं. अपने को इंटर पार्टी डिसिप्लिन आपने बात की, मेरे को भी इंटर संस्था डिसिप्लिन मेंटेन करके चलनी.
नहीं, ये टीआरपी बहुत बढ़ेगा.
हाँ. तो आप ना वहां बैठना और जैसे ही मौका मिले ऑडियंस क्वेश्चन का आप हाथ करना कि मुझे आपसे सवाल. अच्छा, अगर आपको आदित्य ठाकरे मौका मिलता है इंडिया टुडे कॉन्क्लेव में लाइव एकनाथ शिंदे से सवाल पूछने का, तो आपका क्या सवाल रहेगा?
नहीं आने तो दीजिए. ऐसे क्यों मैं वेस्ट करूं मेरा सवाल?
क्यों, सवाल क्या रहेगा?
आने तो दीजिए, फिर पूछते हैं.
जो लोकसभा का रिजल्ट आया वो एनडीए के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा शॉक था. उसके बाद एक स्कीम आई जिसको नाम हमने दिया लाडली लेडीज. वो लाडली लेडीज नहीं है लेकिन माझी लड़की बहन योजना.
लाडकी बहन.
हाँ. तो उसपे अब बीजेपी को लग रहा है कि ये हमारा गेम चेंजर है. देखो ये अलग अलग स्टेट्स में हुआ. आंध्र प्रदेश से स्टार्ट हुआ, आसाम, वेस्ट बंगाल, मध्य प्रदेश में लाडली बहना के चक्कर में बीजेपी जीती भी. अब शिंदे जी लेके आए माझी लड़की बहन योजना. उनको लग रहा है कि ये हमारी नैया पार लगा देगा. इसको आप कैसे देखते हैं? बिकॉज इट्स प्रोवन टू बी एन इफेक्टिव वोट कैचर इन स्टेट्स लाइक वेस्ट बंगाल, इन स्टेट्स लाइक आसाम, in Madhya Pradesh, and now he is hoping to do the same in Maharashtra.
In Madhya Pradesh, of course, you had a face like Shivraj ji. शिवराज जी इज अ वेरी वेल ट्रस्टेड फेस. उनका काम जो है वो भी है, और भले वो दूसरे पार्टी से हो, हम बहुत साल से जानते हैं काम अच्छा किया है, तो उनके चेहरे पे तो वोट्स मिले. लेकिन उसके बाद में अगले 6 महीनों में शिवराज जी कहाँ थे? फिर उनको अभी ऊपर के कैबिनेट में लिया गया है. यहाँ लाड़की बहन, एक तो कल किसी ने भाजपा के आदमी ने कहा कि ये तो सिर्फ चुनाव के लिए है, ये हमने जुगाड़ किया है. दूसरी चीज ये है, राहुल, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं आपसे कि 10 साल पहले जो 15 लाख के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, अभी 1500 पे आ गए. 15 लाख के बारे में जो बात कर रहे थे वो 1500 पे आ गए हैं. और लाडली बहना के साथ में हमें सुरक्षित बहना भी चाहिए. ये जो बातें हम कहते आए हैं, शक्ति बिल, जो शक्ति कानून हमने पारित किया था 2021 में, 4 साल से प्रलंबित है अभी राष्ट्रपति महोदया के पास. क्यों नहीं वो पारित कर देती है? क्यों यहाँ के जो बीजेपी के गवर्नर थे और बीजेपी के ही एजेंट जैसे काम कर रहे थे, कोश्यारी जी, उन्होंने क्यों नहीं पारित करने के लिए हमें मंजूरी दी? तो ये जो बात है, ये लोग जो फंसते हैं, ऐसे उनको लगता है वो महाराष्ट्र नहीं फंसेगा. ये सारी जो बातें हैं वो अभी पिछले 1-2 महीने में करने लगे हैं. लेकिन जो उन्होंने गद्दारी की है, जो हमारे साथ गद्दारी कर सकते हैं, जिनके साथ जिन्होंने 20 साल सब कुछ दिया, 25 साल सब कुछ दिया है, उनको वो अगर 1 मिनट में धोखा दे सकते हैं, तो ये इनको तो क्या धोखा नहीं देंगे? जो हमारे नहीं हुए वो क्या जनता
There are two counters to what you're saying, just as a political level. One, that yes, you, your father and your family had a certain level of sympathy, which is potentially...
We're not banking on the sympathy at all.
Which is potentially been encashed in the Lok Sabha elections. And secondly, the Ajit Pawar faction is far more formidable in an assembly context than they are in the Lok Sabha.
Look, the thing is, again, like I said, we're not encashing anything and we're not banking on sympathy at all. What has happened in Maharashtra in the past 2 years has not been acceptable to any person from Maharashtra, and across any state in India, this kind of politics is not acceptable. Yes, now whenever we get justice, we will get justice probably in the next 30, 40 years from the Supreme Court, we will get it. But the point is this. Today, what is happening in our state? In the past 2.5 years, industries have been driven out from Maharashtra, sent to Gujarat. Farmers are committing suicide. They get assurances saying, "Abhi aapko help mil jayegi, kal aapko help mil jayegi." Kabhi milte हैं 50 रुपए के चेक, कभी मिलते हैं 60 रुपए के चेक. तो इनको जो गद्दार है उनको 50 खोके और मेरे किसानों को 50 रुपए. ये कौन सा नया हुआ? जो 15 लाख के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, 15 लाख आपको हर एक अकाउंट में मिलने थे, वो 1500 दे रहे, कल 15 रुपए दोगे. लेकिन ये सब जो है ये चुनावी जुमला है, लोगों को लोग जानते हैं इसे.
Now, Aditya, you've been very active on environmental concerns. Now, certain things were decided when you were in power and they got changed when the new government came in. I'm curious to understand if potentially in November your faction comes back to power again, what would you do about the RA metro, for example, or for example, Dharavi, which...
I'm so glad you asked about RA and you asked about Dharavi, yes.
No, so let's take it one by one. Let's start with Dharavi, where a massive urban transformation project is underway. You have objections to what is being done and how it's being done. If potentially you're now in power, what would be your party's and your alliance's position?
Let me break it down for everyone here. The problem with Dharavi is not about Mr. Adani. The problem with Dharavi is not about the industrialist. The problem with Dharavi is about how Mumbai is being given free of cost to Mr. Adani and his group. The tender, which was supposed to come out and which was in preparation when our government was in place, and then when our government was toppled and then someone else's government came in, the tender was probably the same and could have been the same, and probably the same man could have won it or not won it. That is a different thing. But going above and beyond the tender, Rahul, Dharavi, if you look at the hutments and the micro industries that exist in Dharavi, it's only 300 acres. What has been given in the Dharavi tender is 540 acres, including Mahim Nature Park and Tata Power Receiving Station and the railway land. The tender was supposed to be meant in a way where the 300 acres plus the whatever extra acres, 240 acres they're getting, the railway land was supposed to be used for Project Transit Camp. What Mr. Adani is asking is give us 1,062 acres of Mumbai free of cost for Project Transit Camp and for the ineligible dwellers of Dharavi. So if you have almost 100,000, 1 lakh people or 1 lakh families in Dharavi who are ineligible, then firstly, who are you making or redeveloping Dharavi for? Is it for yourself or for the people of Dharavi? 2, if you already have 240 acres extra and after winning the tender you're saying now this is not possible, now give me another 540 acres, is this not going beyond the basics of your tender? Any other developer who would have won this tender and asked for more incentives would have got this tender scrapped by the government. 3, what is more dangerous for a city is if anyone here wants to redevelop the building, the first 40% of the TDR has to be taken from Mr. Adani at a cost he decides. Why? Why should he decide whether you should get TDR or not and at what cost?
So what will you
is
do?
Is he the owner of Mumbai? And going beyond that again, now he's asking for powers which are going beyond the government. He's asking for plenipotentiary powers, which means that within 15 days, if whatever he has asked for, the government of Maharashtra, the UD department or the BMC does not say yes or no to him, it is deemed passed. Who is he to decide what my Mumbai needs and not? What we will do is specific and clear. The tender है, चलो टेंडर के हिसाब से आप काम कर रहे हो, काम आगे लेके जाओ. अगर टेंडर के हिसाब से नहीं काम कर सकते तो टेंडर स्क्रैप करवाओ, दूसरे को लाओ. Go for re-tendering. If you can't do the job, say I can't do it, give it up. Even right now, about 5,000 crores is the premium that the BMC is supposed to get from Dharavi, which Adani has refused to give BMC. Why? Why should these incentives be given to only one person who is the owner of this Minde gang? And that is our basic problem with Dharavi. Now, you have 20 other Dharavis coming up in Kurla, in Mulund, in Vadala. Why should these people who have lived here, worked here, be sent to salt pan lands?
It can conversely be argued that the level of emphasis that Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde have played on urban regeneration and on infrastructure development has been higher now than in the past. Look at some of the new roads that have been built.
Tell me one project,
Rahul.
Tell me one project, Rahul, in the past 2 years where the contractor has got money, but the work has been done. Contractor ko paisa mila hai. Kaam nahi hua ek bhi. Last year also when the Honorable Prime Minister came to Mumbai for the Bhumi Pujan of 6,080 crores of road works, I had pointed it out, saying ye kaam nahi hone wala hai sir, aap mat kijiye. आप बेइज्जती मेरे प्राइम मिनिस्टर की कर रहे हो, क्योंकि उनके हाथों से जो भूमि पूजन हुआ है, आज एक भी रोड इस महाराष्ट्र में, इस मुंबई में हुआ नहीं है, शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है। कोस्टल रोड हमारा सपना था, हमने काम शुरू किया था। अभी मिंदे क्या कर रहे हैं? आधा किलोमीटर गेम चेंजर, पौना किलोमीटर गेम चेंजर, एक डिवाइडर का ओपनिंग कर रहे हैं, गेम चेंजर। ऐसे कौन करता है इनॉग्रेशन यार? This is the frustration of Mumbai city, that you are looting my city, you are looting my state, but you are not giving back anything to my city. That is the frustration of Mumbaikars today.
Can you lay out your vision?
I'll tell you about Metro also. See, Metro also, a big lie had been spread by the BJP that because the RA car shed had been moved from RA to Kanjurmarg, the Metro work has been delayed. The facts of the matter as standing today are, A, the car shed was stopped, yes, because we wanted to move it to Kanjurmarg. Had the government of India, which is a 50% partner in Metro 3, accepted our proposal of moving it to Kanjurmarg, what they are doing today with Metro Line 6, Metro Line 3, Metro Line 6, Metro Line 4 and Metro Line 14 would have had one car shed, which Mr. Gadkari said a car shed is also not needed for a typical metro, but chalo, we accept by the fact that chalo consultant bol rahe car shed chahiye, gaye, car shed diya. We would have saved 10,000 crores of Maharashtra's money and the government of India's money in having one car shed instead of 4 car sheds. By 2034, the car shed in RA will have to be moved to Kanjurmarg because the headway between the two metros is going to be insufficient for you. 3, only the car shed was stopped. The metro line work was never stopped. The 10,000 crore escalation that happened was in the time of Mr. Fadnavis, and we have proof, we have papers of every station of metro. And when the metro is inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister, we will be exposing that scam. Every station of metro by 2021 had an escalation which was beyond the means of the government of Maharashtra, and which is why we refused to pay. The 10,000 crores or so escalation has been done and paid by the government of Maharashtra by September 2029, before the elections in Maharashtra, 2019, before the elections in Maharashtra. So this corruption in metro happened during Mr. Fadnavis's time, and we will be exposing it.
So we are out of time on this session. Before I wrap up,
Is this because I was exposing something or because we're really out of time?
nahi, wo dekho na wo.
I love sparring with you, which is why I said
Okay.
that.
Now, what are your internal polls and your assessment telling you? Where do you think the Maharashtra Assembly will end up?
Look, the Maharashtra will see an MVA government. What my polls tell me and what my general perception tells me is the Maharashtra and people of Maharashtra are frustrated by the loot and the terrible politics of the BJP and the kind of politics they've instituted in my state. This was never the case. Caste versus caste, religion versus religion, society versus society, people versus people. This was never the case in Maharashtra. The amount of hate they've spread in Maharashtra, this was never the case. The amount of loot they've started in Maharashtra, this was never the case. So Maharashtra will change and change for better.
Well, this will be a very exciting election. It doesn't really matter from our perspective at the India Today Group who's going to win, because whoever comes will want to fight with us.
We will have a victory call.
Huh?
We will have a victory call after the election.
But for taking out time and joining us, thank you very much. It promises to be a very exciting election. So the team at India Today is very charged up about covering it. And we look forward to seeing you do some political push-ups. Thank you very much, Aaditya Thackeray. Thank you. Thank you very much.